All right, October 28th, Sunday evening. Had some family obligations this weekend that have kept me out of the woods until tonight. So I am back here in Lake County, Illinois. Gonna go sit in a stand that I haven't sat, or nobody has sat actually, this entire year so far. It sits right up on kind of a little bedding area. I've usually got a pretty good scrape right in front of me. So we'll have to see what the activity looks like once we get in there. It's kind of in the woods a little bit more than some of our other stands. Unfortunately, you can't see much other than what's right in front of you, which is pretty typical for this farm. As you can see, it's very thick in these woods. So if anything comes out, it'll pretty much be within bow range when it steps out. So no idea what we're going to see tonight, if anything, but you cannot kill them if you're at home watching football. You can only kill them if you're in the woods hunting. So I just pulled into my spot. It is about 3:20. I am going to get dressed because I certainly can't go hunting looking like this. And we'll be in a tree in a little bit. Hopefully we see some deer tonight. Come on, baby. Late October. Ooh, it's cold. It's windy. It's been spitting rain all day. Come on. Gotta kill something tonight. Let's do it. Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. Do 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 do. Baby shark. Well, when you think late October, this is kind of what you think of. Just overcast, windy, dreary, cold, spitting rain. Seems like usually every year when I take my kids trick-or-treating, it's this kind of weather. So, as I suspected, I've got a scrape underneath this tree right over my left shoulder. It's at about 15 yards. There's a scrape there every single year for pretty much as long as I can remember. So it's just a great little travel corridor. All the bucks like to come through here. Over the years, we've gotten a number of our shooter bucks on this scrape. So just about every buck on the farm is going to visit that scrape at some point in time. Let's just hope that one of the bigger deer we're looking for decides to visit tonight.
don't know who he was, but he was a nice buck. Looked like a 10-pointer, but I couldn't be 100% sure. So, word on the street is that Alfred shot one, which means I'm gonna have to go help him do some recovery action. My buddy Dan shot one tonight too, so the deer were definitely on the move, just not close enough for me. Let's get out of here. I think I just killed Flanagan. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Alright guys, well, it's been about 3 hours since I shot that deer. Went and helped Tommy recover his, did some photos and some video work, and I'm back out here. Tommy's behind the camera. I got Mike with me. We're gonna head in. Stand's only about 80 yards or so from where we're parked, and see if we can't pick up the blood trail. So let's do it. That way, yeah.
That's a weird spot for your arrow.
Well, no, he ran right down this trail like this.
That looks good. That looks nice.
Solid red.
Oh, it's been pretty good here.
Well, not the way we wanted tonight to end by any means. We've been in here for about an hour and a half. Man, we only made it about 100 yards on blood. We had pretty decent blood at times, but most of the time it's just a drop here and a drop there, which is crazy to me, considering that hit looked pretty darn good to me. It was right behind the shoulder, mid-body. You know, if anything, he's just ever so slightly quartered towards me. So I mean, you've got to figure at the very worst it's single lung liver, which generally they bleed considerably better than that. Unfortunately, it rained. I mean, just sprinkled just a little bit right after I shot him. It wasn't bad, but certainly enough to I don't know, hide some of the blood, I guess. So we're gonna call it for tonight. We're not really doing ourselves any favors at this point, walking around in the dark, and it is so thick and I'm so full of burrs, it's not even funny. This is ridiculous. It's gonna take me a week to get all the burrs out of my clothes. So I'm gonna call it for tonight, head home, and I will be back here tomorrow morning, take up the track. It's generally a lot easier in the daylight, at least I've found. So check in with you guys tomorrow morning. Hopefully I got some positive results. Well, it's officially the morning after. I slept like crap last night, as you can imagine, just trying to replay in my head what the heck happened. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. The only thing I can say is he was just a touch quartering towards me, and the shot was, I didn't feel like it was back, but maybe it was back just far enough to only hit one lung and liver, would be my guess. He's definitely a dead deer. The question is just going to be how long is it going to take me to find him this morning. So we backed out last night. Didn't have much for good blood, but I tell you what, tracking deer in the dark, even if you have a good blood trail, can be daunting at times. When you don't have a good blood trail, it's darn near impossible. So temperatures were about 38, 39 degrees last night. No need to worry about that deer spoiling. So we decided to just call it quits and head home. And I am coming back now. It's been light for about 45 minutes. So hopefully the sun peeks through the clouds a little bit here and gives me a little bit better tracking light today. So I am just getting ready to pull into the farm now. Got a bunch of people on standby that are willing to come help out if I need it. So we're gonna hop out, we're gonna throw the alphas on. Gonna walk through some water today and see if we can't find this buck. Let's go to it. Well, good news at last. I've been out here for like 2 hours searching. Did not find another speck of blood since what we found last night, but found my buck laying right in there. He's tucked up right between an old fence and this creek line right here. He must have got over there and just laid down and expired. We were within 20 yards of him last night. You know, I grid searched for a while, and then finally I was like, you know I put a good enough shot on that deer to put him down within 150 to 200 yards. I knew it. So I decided to come back to last blood, which was about 120 yards, and I was going to create a 100-yard circle around that and start gridding in that area because I knew he had to be here somewhere. And there he is laying dead right there. I am covered in burrs, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Oh boy, that feels good. Whew. Not gonna lie, that feels pretty awesome. Let's go take a look at him.
All right, well, after a bit of a sleepless night last night and an early morning, was finally able to recover this deer. You know, I knew I put a pretty decent shot on him given the opportunity that I had. Entrance hole is right in here somewhere. It turns out that I did catch that near side lung, liver, and then it came out the guts on the far side. Not the ideal double lung that you're looking for, but I knew it was enough to put this deer down within probably 200 yards of the stand. So, you know, we only had blood for a little over 100 yards last night. Just could not find any more blood, and so we gave up the track after about an hour and a half or 2 hours. I came back this morning. I started grid searching pretty far away from where we had last blood, and finally I decided to go back because I just knew that he wasn't going to be far with that shot. I kept watching the footage over and over again. I just knew that he wasn't going to go all that far before he laid down, and sure enough, he probably wasn't 50 or 60 yards from where we lost blood last night. So this is not the deer I thought it was when I shot him last night. I thought it was a big 4-year-old that we would call Flanagan out here. Turns out this is one of our better 3-year-olds on this farm. He's a typical 10 with a split brow, so he's an 11 pointer. You know, the last couple of years we've been trying to let these 3-year-olds go on this particular farm and let them get to 4, but it just hasn't worked out for us. Either the neighbors kill them, they get hit by cars, they just disappear off the planet. So we decided this year that if a good 3-year-old walked by and we felt like shooting him, that we were going to shoot him. No more trying to grow big deer in areas where it's pretty much impossible to do that. So in any case, I'm super happy with this animal. Great way to round off my October. It's actually the first buck I've killed on this farm, I think, in like 8 or 9 years. It's been a long time since I've killed a buck on this farm. So very thankful with this. I still got another buck tag in my pocket for Illinois. Hopefully I'll get another one on the ground before it's all said and done. But a super eventful, exciting weekend for the Bowhunter Dive crew. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.
The moment we've been waiting for, Justin. You shoot a buck. Dude, this is it, man. I mean, I'm excited for you, and I didn't even shoot one yet. But I mean, this is the time that we live for. Right now, it's the end of October. Bucks are up on their feet, whether you're driving to your hunting spots. Yeah. It's great to see deer.
Yeah, end of October, the last week of October has been my favorite week of the whole year to hunt. Probably for the last 7-8 years, I would say.
I agree.
Seems like the 25th through the end of the month is really just when you can
get some bucks.
Those
are lines that I used to
moving.
say. I think he stole that line from me.
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's been one of my favorite times of the year to hunt. You know, that particular deer that I shot was the same one that I saw earlier in the night that snuck to the north of me. And he must have went and just made a big circle and been looking for does, and he came out. I mean, as you guys saw, it was last light. I finished my interview. I put my camera away. And he came flying out, and I had Todd's little voice in the back of my head, like, "It's too dark. I'm not shooting him." And I'm like, I'm not Todd. Let's go.
Hey, we all set different goals for ourselves. You know, I have set different goals where I want the footage, I want the GoPro, I want the Tacticams, I want everything to be dialed right in, and that's just me. It's
Yeah, unfortunately, when it starts getting darker like that, you lose light real quick
Fast.
on the smaller cameras. My bigger camera I had in manual mode, and I squeaked every last bit of light out of that thing that I could get. But I knew exactly where that deer was going to go. That stand was put there 3 or 4 years ago. I put that stand up there for that exact movement, and he stepped in at 20, 22 yards, and I didn't want him to get away. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was just the darkness or because everything happened so quick. Like, I didn't really realize that he was quartering towards me at all, to be honest with you. I thought he was perfectly broadside, and just like Tommy, I took those extra couple seconds to settle the pin and just make sure it was where I wanted it to be. And I know people are going to notice in the footage that I bleated or grunted at him 2 different times,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna ask you
And
about
you're going to
that.
ask me about that. He had already been stopped for a couple seconds, and I was afraid that he was going to take a step when I shot, so I wanted to get his attention. Because the first one, I don't think he heard me. I wanted to make sure that I got his... Well,
Whoa.
I wanted to make sure that I had his attention and they actually heard me, so he wasn't going to take a step. Because
We
that's
definitely
like
are
my
going to get the
biggest
viewers'
fear.
attentions for sure, because it's like, I was like, whoa, when you sent me
Right,
the
yeah.
video
So I'm not.
clip.
I'm not trying to stop him there. I'm trying to get him
Because
to
he
pick
already
his.
stopped.
I'm trying to get him to pick his head up and acknowledge that he heard me, so that he's not going to move. Because when they don't hear you, and he was dogging, bird dogging around looking for that doe, I was afraid that. We've heard it a million times. Oh, right as I shot, he took a step and I hit him far back. I mean, and we've heard it from everyone we know. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to move. And he didn't, and I put the arrow exactly where I wanted it to be. Unfortunately, he was just ever so slightly quartering towards me, and I didn't make the shot on him that I wanted to, which is a little frustrating. But I guess it is what it is. I was able to recover him the next morning relatively easily. No meat was wasted. The coyotes did not get to him, thankfully.
I was wondering
for
if the
all the
coyote didn't
YouTubers that were just waiting to pounce on me for having to let a deer lay overnight. None of that happened. So I am very thankful to have tagged my first buck here in Illinois for this year. I still got another tag in my pocket, hoping to get another one down. Hopefully before Graf even gets one, so I could say I'm tagged out, and then I can come film you.
Hey,
Then I can come film for you. What do you think?
I am taking my time. I'm doing things a little bit differently this year. Craig's got all
Yeah,
of a
you've been
sudden-
hunting with Craig a little bit this year,
things
which is
have
cool to
changed.
see.
It is good. Everything's good. It's all good. So next up, you're going to get a few updates from myself, and we're going to jump in a blind with Craig, which, believe it or not, one of my hit list bucks show up.
And then Todd doesn't let him shoot it. So let's
It was
check
too
this hunt
far.
out now.
Morning. Finally got into the stand here. Perfect morning. Northeast wind. I put Tink's Black Label dopey on my boots on the way in. I laid a trail all the way to this fresh scrape right in front of the stand. A lot of times these bucks take a little bit longer to get up here from the morning being down there feeding. I got in here today with making minimal noise, so it should be a good hunt. That couldn't have worked out any more perfect. I wanted to catch these deer coming from the bottom to the top, going back up the bedding. I haven't shot a deer yet this year.
I actually have never shot a deer from this property. There's a ton of doe here. I figured it was my time to do my part of some quality deer management here. Nice big mature doe. I saw her fall no more than 60, 70 yards. My arrow's right there. That's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. Whew. I can, I'll be able to I'll be able to drive a Ranger up here. Pretty close. Shouldn't be too big of a drag, so that'll be good.
All right, guys, it's October the 26th. I can't be any happier with this trophy doe. Promised the landowner that we would do some doe harvest here. This is a lease that I got through the Hunting Lease Network. There's definitely some big bucks working up there. I finally pulled the trail camera card, so I can't wait to see what we've got. But what more can I say? Spitfire Max did its job. I was a little forward, but you know what? Plenty of penetration. Lungs didn't go more than 60 yards.
We are going in on an evening hunt. It's Craig's hunt. He hunted out of a lone wolf a couple nights ago. Never saw anything. And we were in the redneck and saw a doe a couple nights ago. So we're going back at it tonight. Conditions are a lot better for success tonight. So let's see what happens.
The big buck just left, but our friend Paul just got one. Well, he came back again, and then he was there for like 10 minutes, and then he left. So we're gonna go help our friend Paul find his.
All right, well, Mr. Graff is finally on the board with big old trophy doe. Nice shot, I got to admit, I was a little worried. I thought you shoulder shot her.
I think it was actually in the shoulder, but
Did it
luckily
go right through her?
It went right through, so luckily I was okay. I
60
was
yards
a little
and
forward.
piled up. Hey, it's all, who cares?
No, it wasn't a
Dead's
60-yard
dead.
shot. 60 yards and it piled up.
Oh, you shot her at 60
no,
yards?
No, heck no,
I'm
we're not going to get
impressed.
into this
How
long
far was
distance
she?
thing. 20 yards, man, my specialty.
That's perfect.
I like it
can't
nice
go
and
wrong.
close. Everyone knows that. I like to keep it right there. That's
What
one of my
about
goals.
what about the hunts with Craig? How are those going?
Well, honestly, he's been gaining his independence here, and he's been going off on his own. So I really, truly do not know how all his hunts. He hunted out a lone wolf ladder
That's
stand
got to
by
be
himself.
refreshing because hunting with Todd is an experience.
Well,
all
hunting
in
with my
itself.
son is an experience.
Oh,
I mean, it takes
Todd, you are so like you get anxiety when you're hunting with people that are like seasoned veteran hunters, and you get anxiety if they make a little noise or do something you don't like. I can only imagine what it's like when you're with a rookie hunter novice. You have to just be like blood pressure through the roof.
I may have blood pressure a little bit. When he was eating those potato chips when we were in the redneck, I think I was about ready to come unglued. But we're going to leave.
Just make your skin crawl.
Well,
so good for Craig. He's just going out on his own.
He's going out on his own. He's having some good hunts. I mean, we did sneak into a redneck, and one of my shooter bucks that I passed last year actually showed up. It was 48 yards. We have not been practicing at that distance, so that buck got lucky and got a nice pass. So
And you finally starting to see some better bucks?
I did finally see a shooter last night. I'm not as lucky as you are, but I am finally starting to see some shooters. So I'm very confident.
'Tis the season. They're definitely moving. So November is officially here, guys. That is all the hunting action for this episode. Next up, we are going to check in with our buddy PJ Riley over at Lancaster Archery. He's going to give us a tip on how to balance your bow.
Hey guys, what we're going to talk to you today about is balancing your bow with a stabilizer and side rod. Let's assume you've gotten past the initial question of, should I use a stabilizer and side rod? Yes, you're going to do that. So now what you need to do is think about bar length and weight. What we've got here is a 12-inch, 8-inch combo. Then we've got a 10-inch, 8-inch combo, and then we've got an 8-6 combo. But there's all kinds of sizes. You can figure those out. Whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what we want to get to. On my setup, you'll see me shooting. I have a 15-inch front bar and a 10-inch side rod. That works for me. And what you're going to want to do is play with the weights at the end. You want a balanced setup. What's balanced for you? For me, my weight setup is a 2-to-1 ratio. For every 1 ounce I have on the front, I have 2 on the back. You play around, figure out what works for you, and how you're going to do that is as you're shooting. Let's say your shots are constantly going low. Maybe add some weight to the back rod to bring that bar up. Or you can take weight off of the front. Same thing, if your shots are going high, add weight to the front, take weight off the back. That's what you're going to do to get your balance so that when you come to full draw, you're not fighting the bow. It sits right where you want it. You take your shots hit where you want it. Back to you guys.
Hey, thanks PJ. That's a great tip for you guys out there looking to get some better balance out of your bow setup. Todd, next up we are going to dive into some trophy photos. We had a hard time picking winners this week, guys.
I know.
Not going to lie.
It's
There were
getting
some
tough.
really good photos, so let's take a look at them now. Jack Fulford.
Jacob Long.
Jason Kaser.
Joshua Morgan.
Trevor McGill.
Zachary Hudson.
Golden
Well, as
Saints.
Justin is still examining these photographs, we finally decided that the winner is going to be Zachary. You are going to be first place, but because
Zachary
we argued
Hudson.
so much over this, we're going to do 2 this week. So you're picking the second one.
Oh boy, I got to pick the second
Pressure is
winner.
on, Justin.
We're going with, I'm going with Joshua Morgan as our second place winner. Hold on, it was gonna go to Jason Kaser, but he's not smiling. He killed a huge buck. Look at him. He's trying to like mean mug the camera.
Oh.
Looking like he doesn't
He's
care.
gonna mean mug your butt when he sees you.
I'm sorry. That's like one of our base requirements. You got to be happy and smiling that you shot a big buck. Josh Morgan, granted he's already wearing a Bowhunter dye hat, so that certainly didn't hurt his cause, but he's got a nice buck. He set him up. He followed our tips. Congratulations. So Joshua Morgan and Zachary Hudson, make sure you email us your information. We will get your Pine Ridge Archery and Bowhunter dye prize packs sent out to you. And that's all for this week's show, Mr. Graff.
Well, hey, guys, November is still, well, no, at this point it is November.
It is November.
While you're watching the
November
show, not
is
while
here.
we're filming this.
This is it. It is go time.
It's not just go time, guys. You know, the thing that I've learned is it's a long season. You've got all, you know what, in the old days.
Not everybody
that's not
gets
true.
forever.
You do have a long season, so pace yourself. That's all I'm going to
It's
say.
go time. It
Pace
is a
yourself.
sprint for the next 2 weeks. Get out there and kill some deer. Thanks for watching, guys. Bowhunter Die.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bow hunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunter Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more.
All
All right, I'm rolling.
Action.
Hang on. Whoa.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. That's why none of our microphones work. Drop
You're just going through.
All right, nice work, Graph, on the old trophy.
Whoa. And then you looked at him, and I got misplaced there.
You all right?
There was a big delay, and you looked over there, and then you looked at him, and then I was like,
I did?
yeah, you did like
How do you know where I was looking?
When he knows that it's on.
Because I knew you were getting ready to start, so I was engaging with you, and then I got messed up.
Mommy shark doo 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 doo. Shark doo doo doo.